Hey, everyone.
Hey. Welcome to Within the Cauldron. We have a special guest from the UK again. We just love our UK guests. We really do. Jacqueline Dixon is also a good friend of Barry John that was on last month. And we'll be on again with us, along with Jacqueline and a few others that we have already had guests coming on May 20th. So we're really excited about that one. It's going to be big. It's going to be lovely. It's going to be a lot of fun. But first, Jacqueline, I want to say thank you for coming on.
No problem.
Sis and I, we love our UK folks. We really do. I mean, it's sort of like, we're big fans of the UK, and I don't know if the UK is big fans of us, but
we are. Yes. Yeah, I'm big fans of you. Yes.
So how did you get started in the paranormal?
Well, in the UK, it was a program called Most Haunted. It went out 2002. Me and my ex-husband decided to make a New Year's resolution that New Year's Eve to see if ghosts existed. Silly question, but, I've continued on that. I've split with him years ago. And wow, what a journey it's taken me on. It started off quite steadily. We booked 2 ghost hunts, and back in those days, it was hard to find them. So one was at the National Justice Museum, which is a really old building, and they had hangings and everything back in the day. And it's got a really dark history to it. But it's also a courtroom where I'd actually watched a modern day court case in the 1980s. So, I'd actually been in there and seen it in its official capacity, which was amazing. But to know that this is a really haunted place, to realise actually what happened there, which is, it was horrendous, the history sometimes. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. But, from there, I just sort of went on a few investigations. And then about, 10 years ago, I went on one and finally realised that, this stuff does exist. It's real. Never wanted to do it again. And now I need to do it every week if I can. It just gets you, doesn't it? It's just so amazing. I didn't believe in it, it's a load of rubbish, you watch TV shows and stuff, whatever. But then you find out and you can't deny it then.
Yeah.
It kind of gets into your blood, huh?
Oh, totally, yeah. I'd be so much richer if I didn't do it. But then again, I've met some amazing people. The number of people, and also with you doing what you do, you kind of have to trust these people. You're going into dark buildings, sort of miles from home. I'm on my own, could be an hour away, meeting up. And then, you're risking your lives with them because you don't actually know what's going to happen in the building, do you? Because some of the buildings are like, they're semi-safe, but it is incredible. And also like the spiritual path as well, you kind of link in with people quicker because, you've got something what other people don't understand.
Right. Exactly.
Being by yourself is just, I don't know if I could do that or not. I don't know. And Medium Red, she belongs to a couple of teams out in Arizona. Would you do anything by yourself, Medium Red?
I don't know. It's funny because I know the first rule in one of our teams is nobody investigates alone. And even when you're with the team, you don't go off on your own. You literally have to check in with somebody or have a buddy with you. I think that's more so for the safety of you and the building, because, I've been on investigations where one of Misty, for instance, Chrissy, Misty, we were in a dark cemetery and she went to go get a battery from her bag. And literally, because it was a potter's field, there was a small little marker that came up and she hit that marker and went tumbling over and fell. And she actually ended up hurting her ankle. But So I guess from that standpoint, if you're not familiar with the building, like, Jacqueline said, you're relying on these people because they know things to help you, I feel like buddy system is probably a good thing to have. But yeah, I bow down to you, Jacqueline, for doing it on your own.
Too.
I do kind of meet, I do meet up with people, through time, like I've got a little group where I book locations and invite people along.
Oh,
and
that's
it's just
so
a
fun.
mix of energy, a mix of styles. And there's no like team rules either.
Yeah.
Because everyone is there to do how they want to do it rather than be held back. Because sometimes if you're in a team, you're like held back, aren't you?
Right.
You've got the people who run the team and then you're like kind of restricted. Like I was in a team. And I was getting a lot of opportunities for podcasts, things like that. And I kind of felt that everything I had to do, you take through the team because that's what it is.
Right.
So then after a while, it didn't kind of work. So I went independent, booked on sort of some public events, and then sort of started booking my own private events, and then sort of saying, hey, anyone, you want to come along? And it is great just working with different people.
Oh, and you learn so much from them, the different styles of investigation and
that's right.
Different tools, like they have different equipment and things like that too. I'm always learning about new equipment. So
that's right. It's a combination of the different energies of people as well.
Correct. Yeah.
Because I'm finding that if I book these venues, there's about 10 people-ish go along, because I'll try and keep the numbers small on that one. And because they're all up for it, they all have experience. Somehow, a lot of my friends are mediumistic as well. So a lot of it's mediumship driven. And it sort of adds another dimension as well. You are getting the answers. Like you get a sound and it's like, oh yeah, you're picking up on who it is. And if you get information, somebody else might link into the same person. And it just adds another dimension to, rather than wait for that to make a noise and oh hello, you've done that, well done. Well,
yeah, exactly.
What is it giving us?
Now who are you?
Yeah, exactly. Can you ding your name a few times? Like, I don't know how you do that
one. You are very brave, for doing that. But I can understand that being alone though too, because I know I have been alone on, in different rooms by myself, doing the Ouija board or something else, the dowsing rods. Even when I went to the Lizzie Borden house, I stayed behind where everybody else went on. I was behind in a seance room, and I got a lot more from being by myself at that time than I did with anybody else. So I really do get that. Too.
And it's times like I've sort of been at a public event and I've tried to like sneak off in a corner, I don't want to do the communal table tipping. Because I know out in the States you don't do that a lot, do you? It's a UK thing, and you just get loads of people, and it's like, well, I want to kind of listen. I want to see what I can pick up.
Observe, exactly. The observation part of it.
People don't notice your surroundings, do they?
No.
And you just got to sort of sit back and think, right, okay, just try and get into tune with the building if you can.
Right. Exactly.
That's what I love doing. But it's hard.
Do you have a favorite location, Jacqueline, that you've investigated that is like, oh, I've got to go back there again, or you just have like a sweet spot in your heart for it?
Well, I've got a few for different reasons. One's just closed down. That meant a lot to me. That was opened 8 years ago. I've been going about 7. I actually started doing my podcasts because of that location. Started up a live feed channel, and I started podcasting in 2020. And sort of have gone on since then to sort of do it on my own sort of page and stuff. I ended up hosting, met some great guests. Also, I've met a great friend as well, who I wouldn't have met if it weren't for there.
Right.
And they have paranormal conferences as well. So, meet people there, and it's just lovely. So that was, it was called the Haunted Antiques Paranormal Research Centre. It has just closed. I went 3 times last month from the 14th of March to the end of the month. And then, that's it. It was emptied as of probably last Sunday, totally. And it's in the photos now. But, it's taught me a lot because it's just loads of different rooms. The building may have been, we did get some information from the building, but a lot of it was from the items.
Oh, wow.
So it's just wait, that's from there. The doll there's from there. I've got some purchases, whether things will happen in my house or not, I don't know, but we'll see, And just to find, when you take different people there, they are getting the same thing. And it's great just to get that validation, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Anytime that you can get validation for what you're feeling or seeing, you're like,
that's right.
It's a little victory, a little, journey victory.
That's right. And there's a couple of dolls, and there's one which needed attention. And on a public night, you go in there, and one person will go and pick it up, and and it just happened all the time. I've got a doll here, and I've taken it out on events, and I've had blokes who've just gone and picked it up and walked around with it. And they're running the event. It's whoa, I don't know what it is about that doll, but yeah.
They want to pick it up and hold it.
Yeah, they do. And
loving energy.
It must have something with her, yeah.
Loving energy, something that goes, here, hold me.
Yeah. And I use, the items I have, I kind of use them, and I take them, I do development with Barry Dawn. And there've been different classes throughout the years, and I've taken these items and just to see what people get, just to kind of build the information upon them, because I know what they are. Well, I know what they're said to be.
Yeah.
And, I'm getting a lot of information which is backing them up.
Right.
I've never gone public on them, but it is interesting what I have got, and I make notes. Keep a record of what people get, just to. Yeah, it's interesting.
Just to kind of compare it and see. Exactly.
Yeah, that's right. I just love it. It's fascinating. And also, the thing was about that location, they had what they got to call creatures, elementals. I didn't even believe in that. But, I'd hear something scratching. And, it didn't sound human, something scratching in the early days.
Right.
And then once people would get scratched there, and mediums would see things crawl up my leg. And yet when I went with another medium, he just went and sat in the round seance table. He looked down on the floor and freaked out, going, what the hell are they? Because he actually saw them, and it's so these exist then.
Oh, wow.
And it's fascinating, isn't it?
It is fascinating. In fact, so I just completed a 6-month mentorship class with Cindy Keza. I don't know if you know who she is, but she's Files, Dead Files. Anyway, so our final thing that we get to do for the mentorship class is to actually all meet up, because we're all from all over the United States. And actually, we have somebody in France as well. I don't know that she's going to be able to join us, but we're going to converge in June to the Palmer House, which is in Sauk Center, Minnesota.
Awesome.
And some of us already were, kind of double linking into each other and trying to see what we were going to basically stacking to see what we were coming up with, in the actual place. And I had said to one of my cohorts, I'm like, I definitely want to go down in the basement. I want to spend about 10 minutes in the basement by myself. I go, it's elemental. I definitely feel that there's elementals in that basement. So I was totally like you, I could see them in my mind's eye crawling up the wall and everything. And I'm like, oh yeah, definitely. I want to go down to that basement and investigate. So I can't, like you, it's they're crawling around. They're on my leg, can't wait to see it.
They're so intriguing, aren't they? The first time I actually went to Haunted Antiques, it was a place where Neil Packer, who ran it, he basically said you could go into any room, move any object around, you could touch the objects. He didn't say any were haunted, and that was basically for us to find out.
Oh, nice.
For people, if they told him things, he'd confirm what has come through already. And he also sort of kept a record and sort of added to it as well. And
That's
you know,
cool.
it was brilliant. And there's this doll I got, and I just went into a silence room, picked it up, put it on a table. Something shot out of there straight up to my friend's arm, and his face was a picture. He saw it, I didn't. I can't see them.
Right.
But his face was like, yeah. And he kind of went home, and then some people went round his house who were sort of mediumistic, and they saw it crawling around the ceiling.
Oh, wow. Oh, my
Until
God.
he took it back, yeah. But
So
it's
he
just
took it
mad,
with him
isn't
home.
it? Yeah. I've now got that item. Now, yeah, I've actually purchased the item from Haunted Antiques. I have it now. He kind of wants it, so yeah, I'm going to give it him when he, you know,
When you see him next.
it's kind of a memory, you know, and
right.
experiences like that you just don't forget.
So what was your first experience that you had that really set your mind to, yeah, this is definitely what I want to do, and it's definitely changed my mindset. I'm no longer a skeptic. I'm now a believer.
Well, okay, I think I was in denial a lot. I was in a pub.
We all are.
Yeah, I was at like 2006, 2010. I ran a pub. And the previous landlords came in with all the ghost stories about the previous landlord and stuff. And yeah, okay, whatever. And then I ended up living there on my own. And the TV used to come on in the middle of the night. So I'd go to sleep. So, you know, you work dodgy shifts. I'd probably have a snack before I went to bed. Probably went to bed about 3, 4 in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'd fall asleep. I'd wake up just like that. All of a sudden, wake up. Then the TV would come on a second later. Then it'd go to white noise. First time, it's like, whoa, under the covers, that's it. Don't want anything to do with this. I don't know what this is, you know. No, not happening. And it happened frequently. And I'd just wake up and it would just come on. And then once it was like white noise and it was a bit, you could see images and like, whoa, okay. But also, the burglar alarm went off in the pub. So I woke up, it went on, went to white noise, burglar alarm went off. So I thought, right then, I'll have a go at the engineer. So me being me, he comes out, says, well, what's happened then? Oh, it's, you know, tamper. So it's tampered with it. No. CCTV, no one there. Try again. Go on, why has it done it? And, you know, he couldn't say why it had happened.
He had no valid excuse or reason for it, right?
No, that's it. And you kind of push as much, you know, and like, what's the logical reason? It's the only time it ever went off.
Mm-hmm.
No, actually it is. In 4 years, it is the only time it went off.
Wow.
So, yeah. So you've got that, you know, and I kind of, in the end, I found that a comfort. I also found that me being angry as well set things to happen, which was incredible. It wasn't
because it's energy.
Scared.
It's all energy.
But yeah, like one time I was in the pub and I was angry about my ex. So I went to the side of the bar, got a customer in front of me who was a friend. Behind that, I got stairway, steep stone steps to the cellar. So I said, you won't believe what he's done now. Sounded like an explosion in the cellar. I was scared. So I thought, wow, it's just me. What can I do? I've got to go down there. It's like, I think a gas bottle's gone. That's all I could think of. So I went downstairs, got down, and the crash mat fell down. So the beer got delivered on a Monday, put the crash mat down, you know, they dropped the barrels on it. And then, you know, it's up against the wall. Well, this was like Sunday. So why did it fall over? You know, even now it's like, why did it fall down? Right. I've got karaoke Friday, Saturday vibrations. I hadn't been down the cellar. So why did it, you know, and I always ask everything, you know. My head works that way. Like,
well, and that's what you do in the paranormal, because there's so many
Yeah.
people out there that's refreshing to see, because there's so many people out there that go, oh my gosh, this is paranormal, it's
It's
demonic,
an
or
orb, yeah. Demonic orb, yeah.
instead of debunking it like you just said. I have karaoke on Friday and Saturday night. The vibrations of that could have done that, but it didn't do it then. So
Yeah, I haven't
I
done
love
it
the
before,
analytical
yeah.
part of it.
Yeah, and that's the way my head works. My head,
Right.
it just goes to, and I think even then I denied it. It's some of those things, like I kind of spoke to Albert. I spoke to his spirit, and I kind of felt him comforting, but I kind of denied it as well.
Right.
I don't want to think that they're everywhere. I was kind of happy where I was. Well, yeah, apart from human stress with having a pub, but yeah.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
But it was, I don't know. And, after you kind of went on ghost hunts and like things flashed, things beeped, but it's only because people say that ghosts are energy and, oh, can you do this? And it goes off. Well, does that prove anything? I know we do accept, and we kind of know how things work, but I still question.
Mm-hmm.
But then
Which is
once
good.
I did go to a location, and it's Matlock, the Grand Pavilion, Matlock, Bath.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like a great big theatre, that's all I can say. And it was built 1910 in what is like a place where people go to have their holidays. It was inland, but it had a river.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of, like, from the Victorian era, they sort of went there, and it, like, if you live where I do, a lot of people just nip there for a day trip, have a nice meal, and it, it's chilled out and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really weird that night because I went with people. It's one of my first private events, really, and a lot of people had experience and the mediums and stuff. And I was kind of a bit scared of going because I thought this is going to be for real, like so different from an event.
Right.
Oh, hope I don't make a fool of myself and stuff.
Uh-huh.
I was thinking that. You do. And sort of going, and this lady sort of who ran it, sort of Patricia, says, do you mind if I go into trance? So she sat in a chair. And as she went into trance, I was getting the imagery. Wow. Now, I'd done a bit of development, but not to that degree. I saw him. I felt his energy. He was so happy. He was loved by all. Mm-hmm. And I was getting all this as she was then saying it. And then I saw this girl, and it's like she was drowning in her face. So got the image of this girl, and she was drowning. And I saw that. And I just shouted, stop it. And everyone looked at me. And then she kind of said what was happening. Because some children went to play by the river and, had an accident, basically. Oh. But then as I carried, as I did that, in my head popped a little question. Would you like to do this? Okay, yeah, whatever. I didn't think anything of it. Yeah, whatever. It was just my head being silly, wasn't it? So all through the night, I carried on, and I was just getting so much. I was picking up on everything, and I felt the grief of the lady who'd lost a child. It was so different from my grief. It was something, I know the way I grieve, and oh my gosh, it was horrible. It was heartbreaking. And then right at the end of the night, we're in the main auditorium. Everyone was there. We stood in a circle. We basically sort of called out to spirit and raised our vibrations a bit as well. A bit of breathing in, out, and raise your vibrations. All of a sudden, it was like a child had taken control of me totally.
Wow.
So I couldn't control my body. I couldn't control my mouth. And I was doing the hokey cokey. So we're all holding hands, being still, and I'm rushing in and out like a child. My head is thinking, oh my gosh, how do I stop this? And then try and get my head to go to my mouth, get it out of me.
Yeah.
Because I had no control. This is about 2:20 in the morning, and we're leaving at 2.
Mm-hmm.
My head was totally aware. My body was on its own.
God.
then my mouth was saying what it wanted. And it just like freaked me out. So eventually I managed to say, can you get it out of me?
Right.
And, it was sorted and whatever. And like, I was petrified. I totally was. I tend to drive to locations on my own on that specific night. I was actually had somebody in the car with me, which was great.
Yeah, right.
He'd never done a ghost hunt before, and he was like picking stuff up. He's never done one since. So that night freaked him out. So I got home, I left all the lights on, was still petrified. Daylight came, I thought, right, get some sleep. And I thought, never doing this again. Woke up, bring it on. I want to do this even more. So this is it. And I've been overshadowed. I do want to try trance work. I've had a few goes with Barry, and I've not kind of got to get to trance stage yet. We'll see. But I just find it so fascinating. But the worst thing was I didn't have anybody to ask what had happened.
Right.
I was trying to logically get an answer. I was trying to work it out. And if something happens to you in paranormal, who do you ask?
Right. Yeah, exactly.
I was too scared. You can't mention it to your friends. I think you're crazy.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
But the more you do paranormal, you realize that this is kind of norm. That, things happen all the time.
Yeah.
I go on an event and people are going into trance. People are getting overshadowed. But if you haven't knowledge of this, I'd seen people get overshadowed before, but this was like, this is me. I can't deny
it was you.
This is, and wow. So that's why like Matlock Pavilion is a special place to me, and sort of me and Barry run public events there twice a year, and it's fascinating. It really is.
That's exciting. I mean, what happened when you went home? Did the little boy still come with you, or did you find
the little girl? No, it had gone. Yeah, it had gone. It was fine. Like I was petrified of it coming home with me, and no, she didn't. She just stayed. Like
good.
But like, it is a worry. Yeah.
Have you ever come across where people somebody would ask like, what do you do for a hobby or your job or anything? And you tell them what you do. Do they always kind of give you like the cold shoulder, or kind of very skeptic and like you're crazy? Or I'm sure you have probably come across.
Yeah, well, where I work, it's kind of not the sort of environment to mention things publicly. Like I mentioned before where I work. So and I do accountancy. So if I know somebody, I will mention it to them. I am careful. You have to be careful. Yeah. Yeah. Because also if you say you do mediumship, do they think you've got two heads all of a sudden? Do they like look at you differently?
Sometimes I do get that. It's like, or they don't know what the term is, like I will say an evidential medium, and they'll be like,
is she medium? She's not tall, she's medium.
Right, exactly. They sort of look at you like, okay, are you, well, I'm a large, are you a medium?
That large one, they always do it, don't they? As well.
And then you have to you kind of elaborate, and I put a little funny joke on it, like, well, I talk to dead people, and then,
I think that's a good one. Look at you like,
now you're really weird. Like, oh yeah, no way. There's no way you talk to dead people. Yeah, I do.
If I can,
yeah.
They get scared. Yeah, they get scared of the unknown. Where somebody asked me, what am I, or what is my tattoo and stand for and stuff, and I would tell them, and they're just kind of like, oh, you're not going to hex me, are you?
Oh gosh,
no, but coming to think of it,
not unless you piss me off.
Hex.
Yeah.
I'm sure everybody in a different lifestyle, way of life, the craft, everybody gets teased or mocked.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Or
Yeah.
they say, "Oh, can I have a reading?" Well, you know, I don't call myself a medium. I do development.
Mhm.
I do sometimes pick up things. I don't give myself that label. I don't know what I am, you know, and that's the thing.
Mhm.
People have to give each other labels as well, don't they?
Yeah,
You know, in
exactly.
this society, you've got to call yourself something. Well,
Right.
I don't know.
And they still don't
Yeah.
understand it when you do it anyway. They want you to have a
No.
label, but then they don't understand what the label is to begin with. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
And
it.
it's so fast to judge. I'm
Oh,
judging you right now.
definitely.
It's like, why are you judging me? So,
Yeah, right. Exactly.
yes.
And
With
yeah, if they ask, they've
yeah.
got the ghost story as well.
Oh,
Right.
I'm sure I'm sure that a lot of people do, but I'm sure that a lot of them is like too scared to tell this ghost story because they would think, well, nobody's going to believe me.
Yeah, I think they're crazy.
Yes, they do. With your now you have a Paranormal Path Peeps.
Yeah.
Now it's more than just a Facebook page too, isn't it? I mean, can you
Yeah,
tell us
that's right. So I've sort of got a group Paranormal Path, so that sort of gives people the opportunity to share the content, share their lives, and basically share history about locations or about interesting buildings in the UK or worldwide. You know, like every building's got a story, history. You might get paranormal associated. You know, I'm under the impression that any building can be haunted because you've had people there. You've had people laugh. You've had people die. You've had people cry. You've had different sorts of emotions.
Mm-hmm.
And if somebody likes being there enough, they may return.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it. We just don't know really, do we? So anywhere like historic, I'm intrigued because you've had so many people there. And then, you know, if you just visit, you know, if it's a museum open in the day, if you just look round, you know, see what you can pick up, see what you get.
Yeah,
Um,
I know that for being an empath, I would go to some place, older house or just a building, and I would just be in there. I just would feel some emotions coming right through. And my husband or my kids would say, "Mom, why are you crying?" I'm like, "Oh, just get me out of here." It's just,
Yeah.
no, I'm not going to explain it to you. I just want to go because I I'm not with a paranormal team to talk about it, with my own family, which
yeah.
most people will probably understand, but
Mm-hmm.
I just rather not to go that route. And my kids, we're all kind of like private in our own way. We're open, but we're also private. So yeah, I just kind of get out of there. I can't deal with emotions.
I think that's what Paranormal Path is about.
Yeah.
So I set the group up first and I set up a page so basically I could do live feeds. And then obviously I start putting my podcasts on there. So, you know, if I go out and about, I'll do write-ups. If I do investigations, I'll do a write-up. I'm not asking people to say that's right, that's wrong. This is what I got. This is what the people with me got. I went out with these people. We had fun, you know? And if somebody else goes and they go, wow, we got that, there you go. You've got some validation.
Validation. Exactly.
And,
Precisely.
that's what I do, and if you go to this location where no one's been before, and it's like a public one where you have to hire it out. So if it gets other people booking on the location, I like to help people out as well.
Right.
So Haunted Antiques, like I love that place. So often I post about it. I posted my experiences. Maybe people booked, to go to, have their own incredible experiences.
Right. Exactly.
It's there,
Yeah.
isn't it?
I love cemeteries. I love walking in cemeteries. I love just, do some, sweeping, clean off. But it gets too emotions for me sometime where I'm sitting there and I'm just like clean off their tombstone. And then it's just kind of like, I just get a vision in my head, either pain or something. And then I'm just like, okay, I'm just a mess, but I realized that touching the tombstone and just saying, I'm sorry that they went through that. that understand, your pain, that it's okay now.
Yeah.
It makes, then I kind of get very chilled, goosebumps, and then I'm fine. It's my way of grounding out when I have those
That's
emotions
beautiful.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is lovely.
So it's I had ever since I was a kid. I always do that. I don't know why.
Wow.
I'm always drawn to cemeteries.
No, I always have been. I
Mhm.
really, even before I sort of did the paranormal, I've been fascinated. Like
Yeah.
the one I could see a church right outside my window. There's a few gravestones there, not many.
Yeah.
And one of them says, like, now here as you look at this tomb, like one day it will be you. Obviously rhymed and, the language is better. But it's like, got you thinking. And also one of them described that somebody had been killed by the Times coach. Now, in those days, that was something important.
Right.
People would have known what it was. I haven't got a clue. Was it a mail coach? But you get an imagery. I guess it's going to be like a horse and cart, isn't it?
Right.
And it's going to be run over by that. And it's like, wow. And it brings like an image to you. And I think those two gravestones have fascinated me since I was a child. When I used to have to go to church with my mum used to have to, but I don't. But everyone's got their own. Everyone's got their own calling, and that's fine.
That's right.
But yeah,
Exactly.
it's just like when I did go to church, I just love like looking. They're just beautiful buildings inside. Like stained glass windows and stuff. Like they're about like 1100s. That's when they were built.
Wow.
And it's got a steeple, and it's absolutely stunning. And yeah, and I went in there kind of recently, and I do like going in churches. I do feel different, and then the cemeteries as well. And just seeing the gravestones from like 1800s or earlier, it's like wow.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
see, and you're in a country that has such, history and such old buildings, whereas, the United States is still considered a young country. So we have we have buildings, places like that are haunted, but not nearly like what you guys have there. It's just, we've talked to Mark and Michelle about some of the buildings they've gone into. And I mean, it's just incredible. 1600s. I'm like, God, that's just incredible,
We think nothing, like 11, 12, whatever, they're everywhere. But
Right.
we just take it for granted.
I was over in Ireland in 2024, and I mean, I have to tell you, I mean, it's like is incredible, the history, the architecture. I mean, it's just gorgeous walking around, the different parts of Ireland, but it's just in the buildings. I mean, they're just, this building is from 1200. I'm like, holy cow.
Yeah.
Like it's still standing too. It's gorgeous and still standing. It's like the Blarney Castle. I mean, it's like, that's like,
wow.
They said that was like 1500s or something like that. So yeah.
I've got a school friend who lives near there. It's
Oh,
like, wow.
God.
I think she sees it out the window. It's like, wow.
Yeah.
Like
I know. Can you imagine?
That's so awesome. Yeah.
Can you imagine? Like, I mean, like you were talking about the church that you went to with the steeple. It's 1100s. If you had that opportunity to see that every day, I guess you kind of get, immune to it, so to speak, until somebody like one of us, like Chrissy and I, come up and go, "Oh my God, what a great view!" You get to look at that every single day.
Yeah.
I think the most emotional cemetery I've been in was Gettysburg.
Oh yeah.
Oh wow.
Even walking on the battlegrounds, it's pretty emotional, and a lot of spirits still just hanging around.
Yeah.
But it's a good place to go to. Speaking of, what place would you like to investigate in the United States if you could?
That was going to be my question.
Oh, Queen Mary.
Queen Mary.
Yep. Reason.
You've been on there, haven't you, Meet and Red? Queen Mary?
I've been on it. Yep, I've been on Queen Mary, and yep,
wow.
it's definitely got spirits for sure.
Okay, so growing up as a kid, my dad always used to mention that he worked on the Queen Mary. He worked in one of the engine rooms. the way I remember, I can't remember the conversations, but I just imagine like it was coal fired, and I could imagine it being really hot. And I think some of this is probably told us. By the time I got into paranormal, and sadly I had dementia, so I couldn't kind of get the information from him. But when we emptied the house, because he has passed, when you go through his personal belongings, I've actually found a vaccination certificate. What was from the Queen Mary.
Oh, wow.
And it's like, that is actually randomly one of my most prized possessions.
Oh, I bet. Absolutely.
Because it's like, oh my gosh, it's, yeah. So obviously it puts a date that it was actually on there as well.
That's so cool. That's incredible.
I guess I could look into it, really. Yeah.
Yeah,
I could actually
absolutely.
look into it and find out more about my dad.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he could be actually, when you go on the Queen Mary, you can do a tour. I mean, Amy Bruni, I know, is getting ready to do a Strange Escapes there for 2027. But I mean, I don't know what it would cost to rent out the whole place to do something like that, like she does. But they have, if you go through your self-guided tour, they have tons of information about the people that were on it, the people that worked on it. So who knows, your dad's name might be on one of those placards that is on the tour, of the ship itself. So it's a gorgeous ship. I would love to stay on it. I've never been able to stay overnight. I've just done, just going through and walking and doing my own paranormal investigation by myself with a couple girlfriends. And it's pretty incredible to see to see everything going on in there. So
yeah, I just would love to. I really wanted to take Mum and Dad before they passed, really, but it never happened. But yeah, I just find it so fascinating.
Yeah,
and Alcatraz.
Alcatraz is, and that's like, you want to talk about, I don't know if Christy, if you've been to Alcatraz, but it is, you want to talk about, the empathic side of you would be like
seen it. Yeah, I probably wouldn't be able to go in there. I'll probably try my best. Yeah, I would probably try my best, but if it's really, really heavy, I would be an emotional mess, really. Which I don't mind being an emotional mess, but the aftermath of that is calming down.
Yeah.
So, yeah. You can't exactly walk away.
Really cool too.
Oh, yeah.
That's the problem,
if we was going to go to the UK to investigate, what would you suggest for us for like the it place to go to?
There's too many. It depends what you like. Some people like castles, some people like prisons. What sort of building do you want to go to?
I would say a castle. Yeah, I would say a castle. I've been to enough prisons, not because just to visit, but I think a castle would be great because I love castles and I have a collection of them, from the Danbury Mint collection,
Cool.
Yeah. So which castle would be your suggestion?
Oh, well, Warwick Castle's beautiful. It is owned by a theme park company though, so you've got all the mannequins and stuff. But me and Barry John were lucky to host at Nottingham Castle. So it doesn't look like a castle. It just looks like a house on a hill.
Right.
But you've got the history where it was a castle, it burnt down twice. It got rebuilt, then made into a mansion. And, you've all that history. But, you've got the foundations, you've got the cave system underneath it.
Oh, wow.
So basically it's on a hill and it's sandstone. So there's actually, you can walk from the castle right through to the pub underneath. And the pub is, there's about 3 old pubs in Nottingham, 1187, 1215 and something else.
Wow.
But, I think that's about 1187.
Wow.
And it's just fascinating. So
that's pretty cool.
So it's got a lot of galleries, but then you still got what it was, and the foundations and the caves.
In the
And
cave.
Nottingham,
That's just crazy.
Nottingham has loads of caves.
Really? Oh my
Because
gosh.
it's sandstone, people just, it's easy to sort of dig into it, basically.
Right.
So there's kind
Right.
of caves everywhere. There's caves under properties.
Mhm.
I did some sort of wildlife conservation, got invited to a house in Nottingham. They had a cave at the bottom of the garden. And I went in there and it was was used as a air raid shelter.
Oh my gosh, how
And
incredible.
by walking through there, I was going into people's houses. And there are caves that are actually everywhere.
Oh, that's amazing.
I do
Wow.
like I do like caves.
Yeah.
Well, let's put it this way. I used to like caves. I mean, I still do, but now since I'm getting older, I'm just like, oh, I don't want to go to a cave because I don't know. I think it's maybe like claustrophobic or something. I don't know. But when I was younger, caves was my thing. As many caves I went to, the happier I was because I just loved them.
I love that. That's so cute.
I
Well,
kind
that's
of claustrophobic in them. I went to one in Mexico, and oh wow, that was cenote, I think they called it. And you kind of walked in, and it's a long walk, and then
right.
it's like stalagmites and stalactites. It looked like a tree, and then they got sacrificial around it. And yeah,
Wow.
but I was kind of on my knees because I was getting claustrophobic. I think with the Nottingham ones, you kind of know the in and out. Whereas there, it's just like
You're not
like
sure.
walking in for miles, and yeah,
Right. Oh boy, yeah.
yeah. So
Claustrophobic, yeah.
also the National Justice Museum as well, which I mentioned at the outset. That was that's sort of got like different layers. So that's got a cave underneath it as well, and an oubliette. So
Really?
oubliettes are really grim.
Oh, that would be really fun.
we love grim things, don't we?
Yes, exactly.
They're really horrible, nasty.
Yep.
They used to put people down to die and never feed them. Bye.
Hi,
And
yeah,
throw
exactly.
the ones on top. They're probably just about to go, and then all of a sudden they'll get someone land on them. So
Right,
have to suffer
exactly.
more. Right, and we want to
Oh,
go.
wow.
We just love these places and dungeons and things. Yeah.
Yeah, exaction. Yeah, so
Everyone mentions like London. There's a lot of buildings there, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Just whether you can get in them.
Yeah.
It's hard to get in and investigate places.
Right.
Because
I would imagine so.
the charges, Tower of London, but you can't really get in to investigate it. You can walk
Well, you
right.
probably have to do it as a single person with paying a ticket with a bunch of people around you, and that's just
you
contamination.
That's right. You just try and switch off in a corner, don't you? While you're looking like
Exactly.
But yeah, it's funny, but
It's almost like the catacombs, of Paris, of France. I would love to do that. That's a bucket list item too, to go down there and see the bones and everything down there, just to kind of see what you get, see what you feel, when you walk down there. So that's definitely a bucket list item too. But Queen Mary is great. Alcatraz is great. Yeah, I mean, Chrissy,
I must do the Midwest to the East Coast. That's my territory. I'm out to the East Coast a lot, and of course, I live in the Midwest too. But I do want to check out the Axe Murder House.
Yeah.
Mackie was on and was talking about it, and it's not that far from us. It's just, I think it's just time factor. My time is so messed up sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
I try to manage it, and then something pops in. It's like, where am I going to put this at?
Yeah, exactly.
But
I always say, like, I'm busier than a one-arm paper hanger. Everyone looks at me like, oh, now I just gave my age away.
Uh-oh. Wow. So what is coming up next for you, Jacqueline, that you can share with us?
Barry and I are doing Newstead Abbey as a public event that's sold out. That's an incredible location because you've got the original furniture in there, and it's the ancestral home of Lord Byron, who wrote Lady Chatterley's Lover and other sort of things as well. And yeah, so we've got a public event there. We've got a town hall as well. Me and Barry are doing WAF Town Hall. We've also in with another local group, SPS, Spiritual Paranormal Society, and we are running the Great British Ghost Hunt. So basically, it's a huge location. We're trying to get sort of loads of people to go, see what we can all get, and just make a massive night of it. And that's actually at a prison. That's at Ashwell Prison in Rutland. So it was, yeah, it had 3 blocks, and like one sort of got damaged in a riot. And then in the end, they just kind of moved out. And yeah, part of it still remains. And it's incredible. I went there actually. I've been there once, and Brian J. Kano was there. So that was an interesting one. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah. So to sort of do a vigil with him was, incredible. Also, he was at the National Justice Museum in Derby Jail on the same weekend. So yeah, brilliant weekend. Sort of doing 3 different locations.
That's going to be pretty busy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've usually got quite a lot planned. But yeah, my diary is kind of full.
And then you have May 20th back with us with you, Barry John, Dark Side, Spirit Seekers, Paranormal Truth, and Andy Guy.
I know all of them. I've met all of them. Yeah.
I'm really excited about that one too. Oh, yep, there's your dead bell. I should be soon. I think it's been about
new battery.
I know. I got to put a new battery in mine too.
Yeah, because it got hammered last time we're out. So yeah, the battery doesn't last long. Like I use rechargeables. You have to.
Yeah. That's what because I was having issues with mine. So he said, he goes, I think, rechargeable. So I'm like, that's genius. And it's like, and it's actually plug into the battery. It's not like you have to have a different component. You just plug it into the battery. I was like,
exactly,
that's genious.
You can charge 2 at twice because you've got a lead to do 2 of them. It's like,
right. Exactly.
It's great. You charge. I've got a phone charger, so I can charge my phone, charge some batteries up, and sorted.
Exactly.
We're pretty excited to get ours and play around with it because we do live in it's a late 1800s when it was built, by 1885, I think. I'm guessing around there. And the spirits here, nice ones, but I kind of like to know where they're at sometimes. Sometimes they sneak up on me, especially the old woman in the kitchen. It's like, and but I do like the whispers, like she always tells me, do this, do that. Put a little more pepper in, sweetie. Put a pepper in. So,
but do you know who she is? Do you know?
I'm getting the name like Madeline or Adeline. That's all I'm getting from her. And I'm getting like in the 80s. Of course, kind of like a gray-headed woman. Sometimes wear glasses like on top of her head, and sometimes she, puts them on. She has a very soft, but kind of like harsh voice. Like I know when I'm cooking, sometimes it's almost like I'm feeling somebody touching my hand going like, no, don't do that. Don't put that in, And I'm not the greatest cook. I like to experiment. So sometimes my experiment might be a little bit too spicy.
Yeah, I do that.
Never planned. It's just too spicy. So I like to maybe get to know her better. I should use my ghost box, and I haven't because we got kids in the house, and I don't want the kids to say, "Oh, we can play with it too," and I just don't want to do that. Sure. Yeah, I think it's just safe in my closet for right now.
Yeah, oh wow.
Yeah. But I will find out her name, hopefully.
That's lovely. That's cool.
Yeah. But it's been a pleasure speaking with you, Jacqueline.
Cheers.
And I cannot wait till May 20th when we get all of you
Yeah.
UK
Cool.
teams, individuals
Yeah.
together so we can really have a party there.
Well,
You know, it's going to be very fun. So I'm really looking forward to it. Just stay behind for a little bit while we go off the air so we can catch the recording. And for everybody, subscribe, like, and share, and go to Jacqueline's Facebook page. Check her out. Say, hey, I saw you within the cauldron, you know. And until next time, be blessed, everybody.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.